Good morning, everyone. I am on my way to Tofino for the first time. Going to be going into town, and we have such a fun day planned. This video is pretty much all thanks to Pricilla for gifting me a kayak tour around Tofino. It's gonna be hours long. It's gonna be so much fun. It's my first experience in the town, so this is like the best way to experience it. And I get to ride a kayak, which last time I did that, it was with Flossie, which was months ago. So I'm stoked for today to happen. Thank you so much, Pricilla. This is like probably the nicest gift that I've ever gotten. I love an experience as a gift, and it's just so thoughtful. It's gonna be from 9 o'clock till 1 p.m. and hopefully I get to film a lot of it. So yeah, everyone check out Haskin Canoe Company, because this is a video sponsored by them. Wouldn't be happening otherwise. So I'm giddy, I'm excited. This is the exact time that I needed an adventure, because things were feeling stale. Even though I've been spending beautiful time on the beach, I just needed something like this to distract me and give me some perspective and maybe meet some people and learn some stuff. So, thank you.
Low tides, there were like 2 green.
Yeah, those ones are dry. Ice receded, they moved into that spot and have been there ever since. It's one of the oldest villages in Canada. And so that's actually on Meares Island, so the same island we'll be walking on today. It's huge. We'll get a better picture of it from around here.
Is that a houseboat?
Yeah. Yeah, that one is, and like even right there, or actually like behind us there used to be one. Oh look, there's an eagle right up there. So be careful of your footing as well, it's a bit uneven. Permission to start clear cutting Meares Island. And this really like concerned a lot of the people, a lot of the local people. Like for one, the First Nations had been here for thousands of years, and this is their traditional home. Like they didn't want to see all the trees cut down. Second, they had just established the Pacific Rim National Park, so Tofino was starting to gain popularity with this like beautiful, untouched destination in mind, and they didn't want to see big cut blocks across the harbor in the big hills. And then Meares Island also provides all the fresh water for Tofino. So those posts over there, I don't know if you noticed them, they were in the water, but they mark a pipeline that essentially brings all of a pipeline for water. So Meares Island provides Tofino with his entire fresh water source.
What?
And so they couldn't afford to lose that by cutting down all the trees. Moses Martin was there to welcome them to the island. And he just said to the loggers, like, please take a step off your boat, take a look around, like, welcome to my home. But you can't cut down any trees here because you're in a tribal park. And this kind of confused the loggers. They were like, what the hell is a tribal park? Like, we don't want to get into any more legal stuff. So they didn't start cutting, they left. But a tribal park meant nothing. Like, he just he made it up. But the whole issue went to court. It ended up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court essentially said that until any land claims were settled here, no one could cut down any trees. Instead, it became kind of a tribal park, which doesn't mean the First Nations own the whole island. They legally have 13 square kilometers around the community over there. And the rest of it is a big gray area in terms of land claims in British Columbia. Like out east, you know, a lot of treaties were signed and like they gave up their land or traded it. British Columbia doesn't have much of that. So this is all unclaimed land because the court case was never settled, or like the land claims were never settled, but became a tribal park, which the name of the tribal park is Wanachus Hilthuis. And Hilthuis is the traditional name of Mount Colnet, that big hill there, and it loosely translates to home, because Mount Colnet was used as a landmark when they would go out whaling into the open ocean, and as long as they could always see Colnet, then they knew they weren't too far away. And it's written here in the First Nations phonetic alphabet. So when the settlers showed up, they put their spoken language into a written language. And they did adopt some characters, but they have some of their own. So the T-looking symbol is pronounced like an LTH, like a hilth. And then the question mark is a glottal stop. So it's a break in the word. It's like if you were saying like, oh, it's that same thing. Yeah, and that says Hilthuis. And then the serpent there on the left, that's the tribal sign of the Tlaoquiat. And on the right, that's the dugout canoe, which is the traditional canoe of the coastal First Nations. Yeah, we'll keep going.
That's so cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask if you could say it, and you taught me exactly how to pronounce it and
How long
everything.
do you take to like pronounce it?
Sorry?
How long do you take to learn how to pronounce it?
I don't know, it's hard. I still don't say it like totally right, but it's like Hilthuis.
Can you read other words that have those symbols in it? Okay.
Like loosely, a little bit.
Fair.
But yeah, this forest is essentially, first growth. The last disturbance here was the Ice Age, like 10,000 years ago. So that's a western red cedar. It's extremely rot resistant, and quite like soft. So it's used for pretty much anything. The tree is, unless you take a core sample, like you drill into it, or you cut it down and count the rings. And no one's gonna do that. I know how old the tree is. And even still, like cedar trees will actually rot from the inside out when they get to a certain age, just to like disperse nutrients. And the bark that's been stripped off, like that's just from people climbing up on the tree over years and like loving it a little bit too much. So that's why I just like say like don't climb on the tree. We've been here for thousands of years without cows. Like, we don't need them. And it's thick rainforest. Like, what do you even expect us to feed them? There's no grass here. So the cows adapted. Like, they left the cows alone. And the cows will come down to, like, the mud flats at low tide and eat, it's called eelgrass, and it's essentially a grass that lives in the ocean. So sometimes you'll see like cows down on the mudflats at low tides. People are like, what the hell? Yeah, there's only about like 20 of them, but it's the same descendants from that same herd like 200 years ago, and no one takes care of them.
The cougars don't get them?
I think like occasionally if there's a sick cow, like a cougar will come in and get it, but
weird.
yeah, it's weird. People are always like, what are those things, like deer or like?
Yeah, it's a cow.
Yeah, but this is cool. You can see like just right in here, that like jelly circle ball.
Yep.
That's an egg sac of a salamander.
That's huge.
So there's like about 30 different eggs in that one big egg sac. Yeah.
Sorry, which one?
It's like right down there. Do you see it?
There's a piece of log, the little branch, and there.
Yeah, it's attached to a stick. It's like right there.
I guess.
So there's like a lot here, like if you move the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. They all look really healthy at this time of year.
the yellow spot on there.
I think it's Tree of Life right here. I spoke about it already a little bit. They can live up to be 2,000 years old. And then this one, this little tiny one, that's the western hemlock. The most abundant tree in the forest, but it's not really used for much. Like, it's not really valuable wood. But the needles are high in vitamin C and helped the Europeans with scurvy when they came out here. And then this big, tall, straight one in the back with this like scaly kind of bark, that's the Sitka spruce. They were another big attraction to the logging because they're quite strong wood, and they were used for like airplanes in World War I.
What?
So it's known as the celebrity.
Celebrity.
It was like featured in a lot of different newspapers and maybe even National Geographic at one point. But if you want, you can like
Tree
get right
of
up close to it.
life.
If anyone wants. But you see growing out of it is actually just new plants growing out of the original dead cedar tree, which is why it's called the hanging garden. The First Nations don't want us to like go crazy and run around the tree just because it's dead. So in an effort to keep it standing for longer. But if we keep our distance, we can get a bit closer just to the side. They, I believe they got a scientist to climb to the top of it with permission from the First Nations. And she found over 50 different species growing out of the original dead cedar tree. Some of which are actually like helping keep the original dead ones standing. Including the nest of a marbled murrelet, which is like this little
bird?
water bird.
Oh.
But it pretty much like when it lands, it crash lands, so it needs like a really mossy nest. And then when it flies, it essentially free falls.
Up there.
The first time I saw one that big.
I'll be having fun in the kayak on the way back.
Exactly.
Not that I know of. Like, I don't know what their predators are. Maybe like.
Because in the summertime, late spring, I see them all all the time.
I don't know what eats banana slugs, to be honest. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard it. And like a professor told me once, and I found it in a book. But apparently there is more like collective biomass of slugs than any other plant in the forest. So like,
Ew, oh my god.
like all the banana slugs and put them right here, and like all the cedar trees and put them right here, there would be like more volume of banana slugs than cedar trees.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit creepy.
That
it's like,
is
where are
mind
these slugs?
blowing. Yeah, where are they? I see the trees, like.
I think in the wintertime they go down into the ground.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
No, don't lick
Because they are huge.
I'm never gonna touch it.
She'll never kiss you again. But you should lick it.
Like, take it in your hand, but don't lick it.
No, you want to take it in your hand?
Oh.
If you do, lick the top and then put him like in.
You see them.
It's stuck. Oh my god.
You don't want to move.
Ew, oh my god.
Love you.
So good.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll lick it.
He's gonna poop on you.
You lick it?
Ooh.
Okay, I'm in the club.
Yeah, wait.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Now you've done it, so I gotta do it.
Probably didn't happen last time.
I swear you just lied to us and you made us look like
Did you
idiots.
not feel it on your tongue?
Yeah.
No, I do. I
feel
do. It is weird.
It like doesn't like go crazy now, but like it feels.
It's a
like,
tingly.
I want to take you
No,
a
it's
picture
just
with
slimy.
the slug.
Just slimy. So the crab boat.
And all this green on the chart is sand and mud, and at low tide, at low tide you can't get across any of that. So we were lucky because we were really high tide the whole time, but we made our way across to where that house was with the long ramp down to the water.
Yeah.
I talked about our net island, the one where that guy cut off all the trees. And then we made our way around, hugged this part where it got really shallow, and then crossed around to the big tree trail. We went through this like little channel here, did the walk, and then on the way back we went back through that little channel and then around through this part, and this is called the Tofino Triangle. And so there's really strong currents, and then there's a big rock in the middle that divides it even to a stronger current. So yeah, we kind of fought it up here, but then when we came around here, the water that was going out just kind of pushed us right into the harbor really quickly, and then we came back.
So the option was maybe like make it a turn around,
Yeah.
but you had too strong currents to just cross it like till here.
Yeah, like the water was coming out this way, and then it was going this way and this way, so getting around this corner was a bit challenging, but once we got here, it just kind of like was pushing. The other option was, we'll come here and then across where the float homes are, and then kind of like point our boats up current as we fought
to cross
it's
it.
just it's a long crossing, and you're going kind of like so this way I was like, we'll just like go here and then kind of like
that was good.
if you take a look on like a bigger scale, like this is all Meares Island, and so we just like we did this little loop to it,
And then sometimes you do this loop over here.
not so much like
That'd be way longer, right?
There's nothing over here to walk on.
Oh, okay.
It's just like that one trail. Like this is the First Nations community.
Right.
There used to be a hike up Lone Cone Mountain, but they closed it with COVID. They just don't want people like getting dropped off near their community so much. We'll do trips out to Vargas. This is the one with all the wolves on it.
Oh, Vargas.
Yeah, but you can like surf on it. You can surf up here or you can surf up there.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, they're like definitely lots
There's
of
no road to the islands. It's only by boat.
Yeah.
I kind of liked you in it for size, but how beautiful. It's so warm looking. I love it. And you got a dog.